I was at a meeting a few days back last week, and they said, the Igbos, we must find a way of checkmating them. I sat there in the midst of them. And the man said, you are not even saying anything. I said, what is the offense? He said, they are bought everywhere in Lagos. They are buying and buying. And I said, when they came with gun and shot your people, or your people collected money for the purchase. Baba looked at me and said, why are you like this? I said, I'm like that. Did your people sell to them? Or they brought gun and said, your land or your life? Why don't you learn their industry? Who asked you to sell your land? That was the end of the meeting. If you are going to invite me into a meeting where we are going to move the nation forward, don't pitch one tribe or ethnic nation against the other. It's not going to work for those of us who believe that the best of the North and the best of the South must come together to steer the ship of our nation. Do you understand?
Ajidagon Strait will now be called Olamide Adedeji Bado Strait. That means that Charlie Boy bus stop will now be changed to Bado bus stop. No more Charlie Boy.
What we are hearing now, the Igbo leaders need to wake up from the reality. Whether they like it or not, this is not longer a political campaign. This has, turned to be a certain agenda being represented to the 85 million Igbos around the world. I'm not talking about happenings in Ghana. I'm talking about presently in Lagos. There is a massive campaign, and Igbo streets in Lagos are being renamed after the Yoruba people. And the recent one that has attracted a global condemnation from within and outside the world is how they managed to get to Bagada and rename Charlie Boy street bus stop after an Igbo man. And unfortunately, in a way to mock the very important personality like Charlie Boy, whose father was a reputable legal luminary. I'm talking about Justice Oputa, a well-respected luminary, and they feel that they can actually, ridicule this man, including the fact that his son was also a replica of the father. Anybody that is tackling Charlie Boy or tackling Igbo or creating a certain Igbophobia in Lagos, especially as regards to Charlie Boy, is actually, targeting a respected, renowned man, Justice Chukwudifu Oputa. But I do not know what the Lagos State agenda is really about, because I can understand clearly that the people who are indigenous Lagosians does not have any atom of Igbophobia in them. But those who came from neighboring states, who are also from the southwest, are the one believed, to be instigating this kind of agenda against Igbo presence in Lagos State. Whether the government is aware or they are being pretentious about it, it's left for them on the long run. But I can tell you, just like the last election where the Ohanese Lagos State chapter president complained about Igbos being denied their right of voting in Lagos State. It's been recorded, and the world is taking note on daily basis. I think it is right time for the Igbo leaders, wherever they are. I'm not talking about these Fulani politicians and governors. I'm talking about the respected John Mbanta Zonta, the current leader of Ohanese, to come out and make a very declaring statement over this undeclared war against the Igbos. Another angle is the incessant killing that is taking place in the eastern part of the country. People are dying on daily basis, and this is as a result of what we cannot actually define. That Igbos are not known to be killing themselves. Igbos are not known to have invaded any territory in form of conquest. Igbos have never, for any time, any day, involved in just a traditional killing of any form. Igbos doesn't invade people's territory. Igbos doesn't engage in conquest. Igbos are just, who they are. As simple as that. The only time the Igbo nation resisted was during the colonial era, when there was an invasion of the British government in Igbo land. And the Ekumeku movement, if anybody can remember the Ekumeku movement, resisted the colonial masters for more than 35 to 40 years. And it was a big history, like compared to other regions where they have a free will, like the people from the Yoruba Ago, that they are the ones that invited the colonial masters to come and colonize them. It was very easy for them in the northern part of the country to do, get access to them. But there was a resistance by the Kumeku movement. Anybody that knows. So Igbos have never recorded any history of invasion, of a conquest of any form. They are Republicans, and that is their nature. They believe in justice, and they believe in nature. Igbos are not troublesome. But the consistent pushing the Jewish black nation, tribe, race to the world might result to them, becoming something that people cannot actually explain. The Igbos has been silent for a very long time. Yes, we came out from the ashes of the war, unhurt. I can say that very clearly. We picked scraps on the street and turned them to machines. And for a very long time we have been consistent with the reality of who we are. Without the presidency, without a federal government present in the entire Biafran land, we have been trying to get to a level where our destiny can take us, and we continue doing that, not only in Igbo land, and in every route, in every land, in every city, in every place where our leg hits, we transform, just like the ancient Jews. And so we should be proud of coming from that ancient people, and nobody should do anything about it. By the time they will realize it, they will live to regret, because nobody is going to blame Israel over what they are doing presently to defend themselves. Igbos are no exception. Igbos are being killed every day in the eastern part of the country. We have a Yoruba president, a southern president for that matter. We have intelligence, we have the military, we have the police, we have the NIA, and nobody can be able to provide intelligence on how thousands of Igbos are dying in their respective farmlands, in their respective places, in their respective work, just to cripple the economy. It is a deliberate act, and unfortunately, the Eastern governors has been unnecessarily silent over this. We don't want a situation where the youth are going to take up the arms against any form of state at all, whether it's government sponsored or not. We don't care. But there's an extent, there's a limit that we, the Igbo nation, can swallow. What I'm saying is very clear for you to understand that if on daily basis, what is going on in Imo State, Uzodima is there, what is going on in Enugu State, unbelievable. Maybe for the president of the ESN, Eastern Security Network, look at the borders between Benue and Enugu. Look at what they are doing here on daily basis. People doesn't report it, like they don't know that the entire Biafran nation is at war, undeclared war. Who are the people behind it? So nobody can come and tell us that that the situation, insecurity in the eastern part of the country was created by the Fulanis. They are simply jealous of what the economy of the eastern region looks like, even without government presence. They are bent on destabilizing the economy. But there will be resistance from every angle. I can show you that the Igbo nation are not pushover. In as much as they can correlate, yes. But the reality on ground will be unfair when the time comes. Because if you think that the humble looking of a lion makes him weak, then wait and discover what actually, if actually he is humble. every nook and hurry is targeting the Igbo. Obi is simply making waves. People are not happy about it. For a tribe that have contributed so much in Lagos State, for a tribe that have contributed much more than any race in Yoruba land. We are not invaders. We are not into conquest agenda. We are not Fulanis. Ebebere ugobere. That's the mantra of an Igbo man. We've not been recorded, we have not been associated with violence with the host nation or with the host state. Then why sudden Igbophobia, why sudden show of hatred against the Igbo nation? Now, everybody has the right to be at any place at any time, as long as you are not going there to kill and to conquer. It is a free world, and we must respect the honorable nature of justice, and that is what justice is all about. The continuous targeting of Igbo presence in Lagos State and in Southwest must be resisted, and it is high time the leaders themselves to come out and define this moment, to champion a particular direction where the Igbo nation will go. And secondly, the Amnesty International, the civil society organizations around the world, the UN, the AU, ES, and the ECOWAS should also take note of what is actually going on and why the government of Lagos State and the elders of the Yoruba land has continuously kept quiet over the ongoing undeclared war against Igbos in Lagos State.